Welcome to Daemon Masquerade. Oh, I didn't realize that the masks move around when you move the thing. Well, I do not know much about this game apart from I think that it's kind of like Danganronpa, like it's a like a class system or something like that. And it's a mystery detective game. So without further ado, let's begin. A jigsaw puzzle. Left click and drag to assemble. Well, you don't often start games with a jigsaw puzzle, do you? This is interesting. Oh, well, let's put that one back there. I thought that this one would go here, but it doesn't. It goes here. Alrighty. Get in there, will you? No. Allegedly not. Let's get these guys out of the way while we're here as well. Whoop. And whoop. Perfect, look at that. In the window. In the wall. We're missing a piece though. Where's the last piece? Subject Lambda is missing the final puzzle piece. Yep. Is it here? Aha, there it is. Perfect. Excellent work, thank you. Toomp. We've got a lady here. I'm gonna boot this up a bit. There we go. Good job, honey. Oh, so we're like a charm getting, like scientific tests done on us. You solved that puzzle so fast. Subject Lambda displays adequate spatial reasoning abilities. Hi! Oh, thanks, Mum, for making me up. My name is Dr. Eleanor Dow. I'm going to be looking after you during your time here at the Athena Institute. Okay. So she's not our mum, but she's kind of acting like a motherly figure. She called us honey after all. We got a bunch of puzzles for you to try. Does that sound fun? Sure. It does. Glad to hear it. You know it. Give me all the puzzles. So you're still full of energy. I'm always full of energy, lady. But it's time for you to go to bed. We've got lots more games to play in the morning. Well, wait till just like a little after me in here. You know, chapter 1. Well, let's go to bed. We won't listen to the scientists that, the pillow's very crinkled, and the bed's very crinkled. We should make our bed. Good morning, sweetie. For today's game, I bought you a new book. When you're finished reading it, come talk to me. Pay close attention. I'm going to ask you some questions about it when you're done. Tread on Fred. Can we look at the other things in the room? Little cubie. Oh, it changes colors. Aha. Nice. What else we got? We got some rings that like come apart and come together, you know? Yeah. We can solve it very easily, it looks like. Looks like our guy's incredibly smart. It'll take me a lot longer to be able to move them in. This is another like Rubik's Cube. Yeah, this is a bigger one now. We've got like the traditional, what do you call it? Where you're making like a pyramid out of these shapes, out of balls essentially. We got, this is like one of those Hana. Yeah, I've got one on my desk actually. I wonder if I can grab it. You won't be able to see it, of course, but you might be able to hear it. Oh, no, I can't find it. I don't have that exact one, but yeah, here's Rubik's Cube. Just a simpler one than the one that we saw earlier. What else do I have on my desk? Feel like a UV? That's some Lego. I've done this one before as well. I like this one a lot. This is probably my favorite one. This one right here, yeah, it's a good one. And then we get a whole bunch of other. Oh, I've got this one here. This one right here. Yeah, Tread on Fred by Professor Zeus. Right click to read. I'm gonna turn down the sound just so slightly for you guys. Alright. Right click to read. Tread on Fred by Professor Zeus. the left and right arrow keys to turn the page. You reckon we probably need to put in some information? This was published in 1983, printed in China. Made in the World Trade Center. By Academania. On the road to the town Galed towards a gorge, the crow or speed. Though there lay no bridge ahead, instead the merry band had Fred. A lot of different characters, and then Fred is very out of place compared to the rest of the creatures. Like these sexy snakes, you gotta say. Oh, there's some fellow goat people. Hell yeah. Fred would lay across the crack, stretching out, stiffening his back for all members of the pack to use as a major track. See the bashful Lima maids tying up their hair in braids, sewing dolls with golden thread, blushing red as they tread on Fred. Oh, Fred, you're gonna break your back like this, and you're gonna slip. Your feet are the only things like keeping you up. Hear the shrieks and hear the squeals of the trampy eels and heels, telling jokes best left unsaid, tales from bed as they tread on Fred. Oh, count the spots on the socks of the ox who likes to bonk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Building strength with weights of lead above their head as they tread on Fred. Yeah, Fred, you probably should let go now, my friend. You're losing your grip, suddenly. Taste the cheese and the oats from the breakfast eating goats. Jars of honey and jam to spread, buttering bread as they tread on Fred. This is exactly what I had for my breakfast, actually. Oats and toast. Smell the funk of the skunk, dressing like an imposing punk. A bout of nerves cause wafting dread, fragrant shred as they tread on Fred. Oh, the skunk, you shouldn't have done that. Fred's trying to look after you as you go to Gled. Now crossing the final one with the setting of the sun. That all it had been good fun. Finally, Fred's work was done. Click outside the box to put it down. Alright, you can get up off the floor by clicking on the edge of the screen. Whoop. Alrighty, what do you want to ask me about Fred? Alright, time for a quick quiz. What is the title of the book you've just read? Tread on Fred. That's right. I hope you're asking more confusing. How many spots are in the socks of the ox who likes to box? Now, was it 8? It was roughly around about that much, because it was like 5 on one sock and 3 on the other. Right again, perfect. Question 3. What does Tread on Fred tell us about its author, Professor Zeus? What do I find out? He wants to be stepped on. I reckon he's self-sacrificing, right? Because, you know, he, like, doesn't care about himself, but he cares about all the other people that are with him, right? That's an interesting interpretation. Okay, that's all for today. Tomorrow you're going for a real challenge. Well, can I read it and make sure that I get it right? Nope. This is the one. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I did remember that. Okay, perfect. I assumed that she was just, you know. I think he's got, if I was to guess, I think that this doctor has many fetishes, right? He's got this fetish, he's got this fetish, he's got this fetish, and he's got this fetish. And he's just a fetishistic bastard, really. But yeah, let's get to sleep while we're here. Today I've prepared a real mystery for you. I want you to work out who stole the painting in a heist that happened last month. Look through the clues and come talk to me once you've solved the case. Well, this is certainly more interesting, isn't it? So who solved the mystery? It's up to you to make sure your evidence is organized. Try arranging it neatly before you start investigating. Alright, I'll put all of the suspects down here. Okay, so we've got a fingerprint there. Okay, so let's see if we can organize this fingerprint with this guy. Now, as you probably all know, because I'm sure that you're all smart and wonderful people, you can't actually tell who, exactly, like fingerprint matching is not actually a science. I think it's Stephanie's one here. Or is this guy's one? Jaden's. Which one did I think? This one, I reckon. Because he's got more of the worldly indents. But yeah, fingerprint is not an actual science. Like, yeah. Brazen Art Theft by James Spicer, crime correspondent. On the first day of Bryant's thief, or a group of thieves stole a painting worth $3 million from the National Gallery of Victoria, Australia. I've been there. I was actually there 2 months ago. When I saw some paintings. It was noticed that the painting was missing around 2 p.m., having just been accounted for during the security staff's previous patrol an hour earlier. According to investigators, the perpetrator entered during the gallery opening hours and simply cut the painting right out of the frame, stashing it away before blending back with the rest of the patrons. At a press conference today, detectives stated that they are pursuing several leads on the case, including following up on witness statements from gallery attendees and comparing fingerprints found at the scene of the crime against records of criminals involved in similar incidents. The artwork, a self-portrait of Rembrandt, purchased by the gallery in 1933, is considered one of the main attractions of the gallery, and the Victorian government has offered a reward of $15,000 for any information that leads to the successful recovery of the painting. So, well, that's slightly interesting, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's mostly this one. I think this one looks like a lot better than that one. And what she's been frauding counterfeiting, which makes sense, right? This guy's a burglar. This guy with drug position, I don't care about him. Ah, okay. So Stephanie, you are under arrest. You will get out of here. So you're ready to crack the case? To do that, you'll need to present a hypothesis to explain who stole the painting. Who do you believe stole the painting? Leave Stephanie Hopper. And I can see things Stephanie stole the painting. Yes, I do. You'll need to prove your hypothesis with the thread of logic. Alrighty. Well, so Stephanie Hopper. Yeah, I will click on this. This one. This one, obviously. Interesting. The fingerprint left a fingerprint on the thief left a fingerprint on the frame of the stolen painting, even. Yep. And which matches the sample in Stephanie Hopper's profile, proving she was the one who stole the painting. Yep, you got it. Nice work. Oh, thank you. Subject landed disclosed capacity for deductive reasoning. You solved the mystery, sweetie. Why, thank you. Yeah, I did. Oh, that is getting a bit loud, ain't it? There we go. Perfect. Solving this mystery has taught you more than you realize. As you know, everybody has a unique set. No, it's not true. It's not true. But it's not just a person's fingerprints that are unique. The way they talk, the way they write, the way they think. All of this is not unique. The way that you talk is based on your upbringing, right? It's based on the people around you. It's based on like how you emote, what kind of emotions, things that you've got. The way that you write is based on how you were taught, and the way that you think kind of is unique, though. Is more based on like what people around you think and how you get those ideas. It's much more like a class and societal based structure, really. Study these traits and you'll understand the person that they belong to. Though, you know, everyone has like a unique blend of those characteristics, so you can figure out who did it based on those fundamental stuff. Because once you understand them, they'll never escape your grasp. Shing! What do we got here, huh? Oh, we got someone materializing in. It's kind of gross, to be honest. Their brains are coming in. This guy's a lot taller than this person. Aha! Hello! Welcome. Phosphorus, be gone. Oh. Master. Blank. Is that me? Am I the master of this? Forgive my intrusion, but a subject has escaped containment. What did you call me? Don't call me Phosphorus. You fool. How many times have I told you not to call me that in front of a subject? What have I been training a Thanatos bound? Apologies, Master. A Thanatos bound? Like a death bound? Do you know what you've forced me to do now? You're gonna have to dispose of a very promising subject. Zeta. Don't worry, Master, I'll clean up Iota's mess. Lethos. Erase. Oh no, Lethos. Don't erase my memory. Lethos, no! Okay, so I'm gonna guess that we don't remember any of that, but we've got Tread on Fred here in the thing, so maybe we are getting our memories back. Yellow? Yeah, come on in. You got this, my friend. Welcome to the bedroom. Detective Lambda, I assume? You know it, the name's Ed Dolan. I'm with the FBI's Critical Incident Unit. Okay, Ed R. Dolan. Ed Ray Dolan. Okay, perfect. Sorry to disturb you so late, but I've got a hell of a case here. A family of 4 of the Shepherds have been burned to death in their home on the outskirts of a small Texas town. Shortly before their death, they reported to police that they were receiving threatening messages from a cult based in the area. The cult called themselves the Veneratologists. Seemed like an open and shut case, right? Well, probably the cult didn't do it. But doesn't this guy look familiar? Doesn't he kind of look like the guy that, like, teleported in earlier? The only problem is the night of the arson, the cult was throwing a party celebrating the supposed rebirth of their leader. Meaning every single one of them has an alibi for the murder. There's no doubt in my mind that they did it. But proving it to the point that we can get an arrest warrant is going to take a lot more than gut feeling. That's why I came to see you. I'd heard you solve cases to be unsolvable without even leaving your lounge chair. The fact that you managed to identify the Bridgepoint slasher from a partially solved crossword is still talked about at the Bureau to this day. Who did we figure it out? It was Carmigula. Yeah. I've actually heard rumors you're responsible for cracking most of the solved plague killer ciphers. This is easy, this is just a pig pen. Of course we can solve that. Obviously we don't expect you to solve the case for free. We've offered, aware that you've offered $1 million reward for anyone with information regarding the Athena Institute. This dossier contains everything the Bureau has on the Institute. Alrighty, so we can get it as long as we solve this case. Willing to hand it over if you crack this case for us. How does that sound? Do you have authorization to share these documents? Do you think I'm here off the record? Don't worry, I've got the full backing of the FBI on this. Can you prove that? Director Lucas signed off on the release himself. Take a look at the first page if you don't believe me. He's actually a big fan of yours. Really, okay. I hope it wasn't overly presumptuous of me. But I brought all the evidence related to the arson with me. I've put it all up on the pinboard. But feel free to rearrange it. I've heard that you're very particular about how your evidence is arranged. Come to me if you've had a breakthrough in the case. Or if you have any questions about the facts at hand. I'm not leaving this chair until the case is solved. Well, that's my thinking chair, my friend. You need it for me to actually be able to think. Chapter 2. We got Don't Tread Thread. You think it was over? See you soon, Lambda. Oh, and there's blood on this. A lot of blood. It's kind of soaking through. I wonder if we've written anything else in the books. Yeah, no, nothing else. And History's Greatest Quotes from A to Z, edited by John Merkin. Dedicated to the great men and women whose words fill this compendium. A is for Aristotle. Not great mind has ever existed without a touch of madness. Aristotle. B is for Bonaparte. History is a set of lies agreed upon. You say Napoleon Bonaparte was a great man? C is for Caesar. I wouldn't necessarily call him a great man either. Experience is the teacher of all things. D is for Darwin. Great is the power of steady misrepresentation. E is for Einstein. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. F is for Franklin. All cracks are grey in the dark. I would say that they're more black Franklin, but whatever. Oh god, we got Adolf Hitler here on the page. G is for Gandhi. An eye for an eye will only make the whole world blind. H is for Hitler. A man who has no sense of history is like a man who has no ears or eyes. This is like an interesting book, isn't it? I is for Ieyasu. Let thy step be slow and steady. Let those stumble not. Tokugawa Ieyasu. I've never heard of Ieyasu. J is for Jefferson. On matters of style, swim with the current. On matters of principle, stand like a rock. K is for King Jr. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Now, good guy, King Jr. L is for Lincoln. You cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today. M is for Mark. History repeats itself. First is tragedy, second is farce. So true, Mark, so true. It's a very interesting book with March and Hitler in it. And N is for Nietzsche. That what does not kill us makes us stronger. There was a artist, Kanye West, that also said that. O is for Oppenheimer. The optimist thinks that it is best of all possible worlds. The pessimist fears it is true. P is for Picasso. We all know that art is not truth. Art is a lie that makes us realize truth. I think Oppenheimer here has the best quote so far. I'm more a pessimist than an optimist in this kind of things. I would not say that this is the best of all worlds. But Q is for Queen. Beware of artists. They mix with all classes of society and are therefore the most dangerous. Right after Picasso here. Queen Victoria, terrible person. Essentially exacerbated the heroin crisis. R is for Rousseau. Force does not create right, and we are obliged to obey only legitimate powers. S is for Shakespeare. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. T is for Twain. It is easier to fool people than it is to convince them that they have been fooled. So true, Mark Twain, so true. U is for Ubuan. All the world is exile to the Christian, and all the world is country. Pope Urban II. V is for Vinci. Study without desire spoils the memory, and it retains nothing that it takes in. W is for Washington. It is better to offer no excuse than a bad one. X is for Xerxes. The man who has respect for the law becomes happy while living, and blessed when dead. Y is for Yeats. Man cannot embody truth, but he does not know it. He cannot know it even. And Z is for Zedong. We got another terrible person here in this book. Politics is war without bloodshed, while war is politics with bloodshed. Okay, an interesting book, to be sure. Okay, it's 1997 right now. If you're overwhelmed by the evidence, press Z and click on the board to zoom in. Okay, press Z, click on the board, right. So we've got cards, I guess. Ground goat meat galleon. A lot of goat meat. It is Stronsky vodka. Okay, so this will be for the dinner, right? At the thingy. Happy Awakening Day for a very special Father Lord. Awakening another day, but don't count the candles. Congratulations and 9 million today. Alrighty. Yeah, don't count the candles, I guess, because there's not a million candles on it. This was at looks like 4:30. And at 6:45, they were eating burgers. So, you've proven yourself to be a stalwart believer in our cause. Thus, you've been bestowed the privilege of enacting Tenant 5, a lawyer's frequently. We'll find out what Tenant 5 is at the moment. And this is the present giving, and then what's that? That's a 7, 8-ish. The 23 tenants. Okay, what's Tenant 5? Prior to the church must be punished. I'll read them all in a minute. Examine evidence, drawer, and room. Okay. Glenn, thank you so much for fixing my rocking chair. You made it better than brand new. You might even be able to withstand Coulter riding it down the stairs again. Haha. His rambuck is charmed, but he means well. I don't know what we would have done without you, and eyes crossed out there. Honey, I don't know what I've done to end up in the doghouse, but whatever it was, I'm sorry I did said that. Please let me back into the bed. Sleeping on the couch is making my bad back flare out. Dear Glenn, thank you for volunteering to get groceries. I would have done it myself, but I'm just so busy preparing everything for the Lord's Day. For dinner tonight we need buns, whole grain, ground goat meat, cheese, milk, organic tomatoes, and lettuce. P.S. Remember to buy the secret ingredient we discussed earlier, Mary. Attention apostates. The corruption of your spirit by the forces of evil and your deep-seated resentments of God's cleaning grace has been made abundantly clear by your recent actions. You'll be judged for your sins, and agents of the Lord shall wreak havoc upon you and your family. This is agents, not agents. Repent for your crimes now so that you do not burn for eternity. It does look kind of like there is a space here though, right? Like agents. Oh, we can click on it, you know? Like that. There we go. Okay, and the property damage report. Okay, let's click on it so that we can actually read it. Okay. Incident type arson of 18 States Country, Gutherton County, Texas, at 9 to 10 p.m. So they don't really have an alibi for this time. The shattered front window and traces of alcoholic spirits utilized as an accelerant suggested that an improvised incendiary device, such as a Molotov cocktail, was used to deliberately lift out the fire. To the highly flammable polystyrene core cladding of the house, it would have ignited easily, and the fire would have consumed the entire structure in minutes. The corpses of the 4 occupants were found inside, having died of smoke inhalation. Presumably they were unable to escape as the flames quickly cut off the only exit from the property. No car tire marks were found in the dirt path leading up to the premises. However, there were several taps from what appears to be a bicycle, probably from one of the children's bikes. No 911 calls were recorded in Gutherton on the night of the fire. Authorities were alerted to investigate the following day when a truck driver passing by noticed the still smoldering remains of the home. Okay, so we got a lot of information already. The interesting information is that they purchased alcohol here, Drozhsky vodka for $24.50. Now this wasn't in the list of things to buy. Can we look at the cards? Okay, we can. Dear Lord, I hope this card brings you as much joy as the cat calendar you gifted me at Christmas has given me. The expression reminds me of the look Glenn has when he is thinking. Haha, XOXO Lily. Okay, so Lily. To my Lord, happy awakening day with love. Surely you must know that I'm yours and I'm dedicated you in both soul and body. Joyce. Okay, so how I live to answer your every command. I shudder with delight under your watchful eye. How I long to worship yours. Faithfully yours, Joyce. Okay. So Joyce seems like she's like in a sexual relationship with the Lord. Just based on this, right? With this lady, Lily, it doesn't seem, she seems more like a child, I guess. Dear Lord, happy awakening day. Thank you for sharing your 9 million years of alignment with us, redeeming me of all my sins and giving me a place to live. I hope you like the card. I made it myself with some help from Sister Mary who taught me how to make a stamp to decorate it with. Love, Calder. Oh, that is cute. I like that. Alrighty. And you, dog? Dear Lord Oliasis, I'll be here forever. Happy Awakening Day. You'll have to forgive me for being unable to get enough candles for your cake. I'm afraid that buying that many would have caused a national wax shortage. But a more serious note, thank you for offering me direction when I was at my most lost, and counsel when I was at my lowest point. Love, Mary. Cute. Okay. So this cult seems to really like Aloysius, right? Hope this new gun rack serves you well in the war against the... Oh no. The Feds are going to find themselves in a heck of a siege if they're trying to take us down. Your humble carpenter, Glenn. Alrighty, so he got a gun rack. And here we got, hey big gay, have a great day. Thank you for your constant guidance and for taking us in after my waterbed import business failed. The heart of Mother Teresa and the wisdom of John Madden, your buddy marker. Oh, cute. Alrighty, well let's have a look here, shall we? So, ooh, okay. Roll back. I guess that this is a, oh, can we ignore? No? Uh-huh. I thought that this was part of the game, but it's not. I'll be back in that case then. Alrighty, we're back. Okay. I wanted to look at these photos just to make sure I got my time. So that's at 9:30. Now the fire took place around 10, didn't it? Now this is at 6:30. 6:45. Yeah. And there's him like cuddling with the sheep, very Jesus-like. And then finally, this is the gift giving here, right? So we know that he got a cat poster. Yeah. She's yelling at her. Is everyone here on the table still here? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, this guy, the guy in the pink shirt, is no longer here. And he's there for the other ones. The lady in the yellow dress isn't in that one, but she is in this one, which happens later. This happens at 8. Okay. So this is 9:30. So this is where the most people are. And the fire happened at 9 to 10. So it seems like everyone in this photo at least has an alibi. But the child is not here. And it makes sense because the child is the one that she's the one that wrote this one, and she's also the one that organized something else, right? Of enacting Tenet 5. Thus she have been bestowed the privilege of enacting Tenet 5, yeah, and Tenet 5 is prayers to the church must be punished. So yeah, they're punishing the person by burning their house down, essentially. Alrighty, anything else interesting in here? Thou shalt strictly adhere to the word of God, Lord Aloysius, for it is the word of God. Questioning the word of Lord Aloysius should be considered blasphemy against God. Thou shalt shun the non-believers for their words, snares to trick you off the path. Those who forsake the church shall be treated as pariahs in the eyes of the church. Okay, and so on and so forth. I like this one. Thou shalt steal only that which you do not have the means to purchase. Thou shalt bath thrice daily. That's too many. Thou shalt not use vanilla-based scents. Alright, let's read the rest, shall we? Thou shalt not covet status, save for the eyes of the Lord. Thou shalt not covet material wealth or worldly possessions. Thou shalt share all that you own with the church. Once fully inducted into the church, thou shalt live within the sanctum. Those living within the sanctum must defend it with their lives against the forces of evil. Thou shalt keep their music a reasonable volume inside the sanctum. Thou shalt be modest in thy footwear choices. Thou shalt not consume the food. Maybe he's got like a foot fetish. Thou shalt, and that's why he wants to like them to hide their feet, because he's ashamed of it. Thou shalt not consume the flesh of any animal save for the goat, for it is the spawn of Satan. Thou shalt not partake from drink or imbibe in an inebriant of any kind. You'll be very mad at me, seeing as you won't think that I will be the spawn of Satan. Thou shalt not visit any other place of worship. Thou shalt not step the vendor of polygal scripture in private. Thou shalt not meet in secret from Lord Aloysius. and those shall write a reflection on the state of the world each month. Those shall take the Lord's criticisms and feedback to heart, and those shall strive to uphold the tenets in every action that you take. Okay, let's continue to over here. So Glenn was asked to buy the stuff. Then the child, Mary. I reckon that Mary spoke to her daughter here, maybe in private, about the entire thing. And I reckon that Mary is the one that kicked him off the doghouse, essentially. Okay. Yeah. But I don't think that, well, I do think that Aloysius has kind of put it in because he put the whole thing out. Anyway, let's have a chat, shall we? You need anything from me? I think I've solved the case. Already. You think you know who started the fire? I do. Who do you think started the fire? Well, I don't know her name. I think it's Lily Brooks, right? It's the daughter. Lily. Technically. Lily Brooks. Do you have any evidence that can prove it? I certainly do. So Lily is in this photo. Yeah, this is Lynn. She's not in this photo. The arts is here. There's this one here. There's the fact that there's a bike tracks. There's this one here. There's this one here. And a 5. There's this one here as well. Can we only pick a certain amount of evidence? So suggesting that the vodka listed in this receipt was used in the larder. Right. A member of the cult was harassing the shepherds. Okay. Can we figure that out? Can we figure out if one of the cult was harassing the shepherds? Okay. Well, let's ask him more about the case before we try to solve it again. Tell me about the crime. Do you want a recap of the details of the crime? The incident took place in the small town of Guthrie, Texas. The victims were a young family of 4, the shepherds. Falling in hard times, the shepherds sought help from their local church. It was there that they first met the veneratologist, an obscure Christian sect based in the area. At first, the family was charged by Lord Aloysius and enjoyed living in the commune. However, they left the group a month ago, fearing that the doctrines were becoming increasingly radical. Upon leaving the church, the family began to receive threatening letters at their new home. They contacted the police about the harassment several times, but citing a lack of evidence, the police were unwilling to press charges. The next threat will be the final one that they received. The corruption of your spirit by the forces of evil and your deep-seated resentment of God's cleansing grace has been made abundantly clear by your recent actions. On the night of August 29th, someone set fire to the residence of the shepherd family. Trapped inside the house, a starting conjunction, their family perished in the blaze. All signs point to this being an intentional arson attack. Check the property damage report for more info. Yeah. Okay. Obviously, the threatening letters cast suspicion on the cult, but the problem was that they were all celebrating the Lord's Awakening Day at the time, thus giving them an airtight alibi. Damn privity, a nice family killed in such a horrific way. Stuff like this that makes me want to retire from the bureau, but I'm confident that you'll be able to uncover the truth. Okay. Do you need anything from me? No. Though, I do find it interesting that he tells us more, and we get more of a little look into the family, so let's have a look at a quick rundown. Tell me about Lily Brooks. I don't want to go through all of them, though. So you want to hear about Lily Brooks. Lily Brooks' family, a librarian at the Guthrie Middle School, quitting after what was discovered as a total nervous breakdown. Very reserved woman, she has few friends outside the church and is reported quite heartbroken when the shepherd family left. Longtime friends with Glenn Knight, she was the one that convinced him to join the group. Okay. Let's leave the conversation. Yeah, so this is the, yeah, Foster's. And this is definitely Lily's. No? Is this one? Joyce's. Right. And that makes sense because Lily's still here, Joyce is not. Yeah, it's Joyce. I just got them wrong. Let's ask him more about Joyce, shall we? Tell me about Joyce. Joyce Bishop. Do you want to hear about Joyce Bishop? Joyce Bishop is a former hairdresser and wife to Marcus Bishop. After her husband's business folded, they both moved into the venerologist commune in 1996. Joyce is said to be quite taken by commune lifestyle. She isn't the only one responsible for cleaning the laundry. What subject? Is there any other bishops? Bishop. Who's Joyce's bishop's daughter? Because this looks like... Yeah. Faithfully yours, Joyce. Is this the corruption of your spirit? Coulter. Coulter? Her sister Mary. Yeah, that definitely looks like Coulter's writing. Yeah. That's like the hearts don't make sense. No, left hand, where's her eyes? She writes all her eyes in... Oh no, there's an eye, and it's just got a dot in it. He writes his eyes like a little circle. And we can see that in this. So it's Coulter. Can you tell me more about Coulter? Monfrey. Tell me about Coulter. Yes. Coulter. Ah, yes. This is who I thought. Left an orphan at the age of 7 after a traffic accident claimed the lives of his parents, Coulter was bounced around the foster system for the next couple of years. Coulter was later adopted by Mary McQueen at the age of 11. He was attending Gutherton Middle School but citing behavioural issues. He's been homeschooled by the church for the last year. Okay, let's discuss something else. Let's discuss the I think of the case. Alrighty. I think it's Coulter. Coulter awning. Now, I do have a lot of this is related to the arson, of course. This one as well. The fact that he wasn't here at this time. This Tenet 5 one. This Happy Awakening Day photo. And the Tenet. And this as well. There's quite actually a lot of evidence about this. But yeah, Glenn also helped. But yeah. Okay, interesting. The property damage report means the fire was started between 9 and 10 PM. Coulter wasn't there at the time. The exact same time the photo was taken, yeah. Meaning Coulter is the only one without an alibi for the arson. Yep, correct. Furthermore, there's the threatening note that was sent to the Shepherds. Something about it seems familiar. Yep, that was the same writing. You're right, the handwriting is identical to the card Coulter wrote, which means that Coulter was the one who started the fire. Yep, so the arsonist was Coulter. Knew there was something off about those photos. I mean, in what world would a child be absent when the cake has been cut? But that just highlights our biggest problem. We're talking about a 14-year-old kid here. Yeah. So yes, I do think he had an accomplice. Who do you think was Coulter's accomplice? Kind of Glenn, kind of Mary as well. But I'm going to put Mary McQueen, because she is her, is Coulter's adopted mother. Kind of, a little bit. I've got property proof. So we know that the arson happened. We know this, Mary. We know that this alcohol was being bought. We also know, can I write on these? Where's Mary's cat? Yes. I don't know how to do blah blah blah. Who's writing this? The bad back one. This one, right? It's Marcus. Okay. Do we have another? Okay. Do we have another? Mary's chatting here. Now, the property damage report does mention that alcohol was used to start the fire. Yep, correct. Among the listed items in the receipt was 2 bottles of good vodka. Yeah. The vodka is the only item purchased that wasn't on the shopping list, so perhaps it's the secret ingredient that Mary requested. So Mary was the one that requested the vodka. However, the council lawyers will just argue she wanted to use it for her own personal consumption. Is there any way that we could prove that Mary wasn't going to drink the vodka? Well, yes, there is. Okay. So we need to put the 23 tenets of venerology, which does say that you can't drink. What I'll do is I'll just put all of the evidence back in again. There's this one. This one. And maybe this one. Okay. Are you suggesting that because of the strict rules of cult religion, you can prove that alcohol wasn't for personal consumption? Yeah. The cult has a heck of a lot of crazy rules. Can you circle whichever tenant is relevant at the moment? This one, 15. Am I going to be able to circle it? Kind of. Thou shalt not partake and drink. Yep. Perfect. Tenant 15 prohibits the consumption of alcohol, so Mary must have wanted the vodka to use in the arson. You've convinced me that Mary was the one who orchestrated the arson. There's still one thing that bothers me. Sure. Glenn. So far we managed to put both Culture and Mary starting to find that killed the Shepherd family. And I still think that bastard Lord Elias is responsible for all of this, and is just hiding behind his loyal flock. The only set of it is that Lord Elias ordered Coulter to carry out the attack on the family. There certainly is, my friend. There's this one. There's this one. I really think that's probably all we need, is those two. Just because of 10 and 5. The letter written by Lois itself misses 10 at number 5. Put into this list 10 and 5, the surprise for the church must be punished, which means the letter was instructed to Coulter to carry out the answer. It was a clever little plan that Elias and Mary cooked up, having a child do their dirty Louis. But with the deductions you've made, you're more evident now than both the conspiracy commit murder. They've been going away for a long time. And they head straight to the judge to get a arrest warrant for Elias Quincy and Mary McQueen. But, can I just say, we can arrest Glenn as well. Get Glenn in here. Judge Burton certainly is going to be happy with me having turned up on his desk at midnight. I left the disc there in Athena Institute on your bookshelf. I hope you find what you're looking for in there. So do I. So do I, my friend. Thanks, Lambda. You're even better than they say you are. But before you leave, can I get you to arrest Glenn? Alright, who's coming in? Yo. You're coming to steal my stuff, aren't you? I know you are. And I don't like it. Yeah. Well, visual confirmation of Lambda. Long time no see. No time for a reunion, I'm afraid we're behind schedule. You may experience some nausea. Don't worry, it'll pass. Oh, we're getting teleported away now. Alright, we're back in the institute. Ah, there's the Daemon Masquerade. Your costume is on the coat rack. Make sure the mask fits properly or the voice changer won't work. Alright, chapter 3. Let's put the stuff on. We're just doing what we said they say. Haven't we been looking for them for years? Are you ready? I certainly am. We better hurry. You're the last to arrive. I certainly am. Okay. Ah, good, our final guest. Fantastic, I was worried I'm the only one here who has no idea what the fuck is going on. Now that everyone's here, we can get started. Welcome one and all. All of you have been booked here today to participate in a very prestigious event, the Daemon Masquerade. This ancient ritual grants you the chance to make your wildest dreams come true. And you're also lucky to have been selected as masqueraders. I certainly am. For the masquerade, each of you will be paired up with a demon partner. Working together with your demon will be the key to claiming victory in this contest. Any questions so far? Where are we? How long are you planning on keeping us here? Did you say demon? I certainly did. Excellent questions. This is a government research institute whose existence and location is unknown to the public. I'll let you go as soon as the rules have been explained. And demons are beings created from the collective unconsciousness of mankind. Perhaps it's easy to show you. Alright? Epsilon, could you show the maskers your demon's abilities? Gladly. There's just a plant. Botanicos. There we go. Grow. Okay, yeah, Botanicos turns into like a elephant with plant-like features. What's like, what's the Greek city? Santorini is on his back. And then he can make this thing grow. Cease. Botanicos leave. So Botanicos can just make something instantly grow. Thank you, Epsilon. Take the tree with you on the way out. In essence, a demon is the physical manifestation of a concept. It could be a natural phenomenon, an emotion, anything that humans create a name for. Once bound to a demon, you'll gain the ability to manipulate that concept. In other words, you're all getting superpowers. For next week, you'll be able to use your demon's powers to your heart's content. Should be victorious in our little game, the powers will be yours for life. A wonderful prize, wouldn't you say? What kind of game? Is this some sick blood sort where you'll make us fight to the death? No, nothing as barbaric as that. It's a game of chance. Blackjack? Poker? Mahjong? Think of it like hide and seek, and Mahjong's not a game of chance. Neither is blackjack or poker for that matter. Studying from midnight to dark. If you can make it 1 week without anyone discovering your name and demon, you win. This also means there can be multiple champions. Couldn't we just agree not to look for one each other? That wouldn't make for a very exciting game, would it? To counter attempts at collusion, we have a special rule. One player among you will be selected to be the hunter. The hunter is tasked with eliminating all the other maskers. In return, they'll receive a special reward. The end of the masquerade will be returned here, and the hunter will have to unmask all the surviving maskers. Surviving? So the hunter can kill all the other players on one by default? This is a valid interpretation of the rules. This is not a fight to the death, but if a player kills everyone, they win. Who are you to play with human lives this way? Who am I? You could call me the Judicator. It's my job to keep an eye on the game to make sure it's balanced and fair. Fair enough, too. Each of you will have your own rounds to play as well. Speaking of, to embody your dramatis personae, you require the necessary prompts. You get first there's the hedonist, you get a cup, connoisseur of the bottomless chalice. The second is the dreamer, observer of the penetrating lens. I like that all of these people are getting into character with the things, even though they don't know what's going on. That is the tyrant, thief of the indiscriminate whip. Fourth is the revenant, wielder of the indomitable scythe. Fifth is the labourer, artificer of the unyielding mallet. And sixth is the scion, the bearer of the onerous crown. And then seventh is the scholar, the one that we get, scribe with the meticulous quill. Each of these prompts in turn a demon that suits your individual personality. Whether you choose to use its power sparingly, indulge in it excessively, or refuse to use it at all, there's your choice to make. Well, I think everyone is up to speed. I'll see you again exactly 1 week from now, 12 AM, Friday the 12th of September. And with that, Adjudicator out. The 93rd Daemon Masquerade has begun. 93? Ah, jeez, these lights are gonna make me throw up again. Curious, I can still feel my feet on solid ground. Do we have to leave this costume on? So fucking lame. That's true. A week, huh? Probably got at least that long. Oh, this part's kind of fun. Yeah. Whoever's behind this, I'm going to find you, and when I do... And lastly, you. Do you miss me, sweetie? I did. Well, guess what? You're going to be the hunter for this masquerade. Should prove easy if you remember what I taught you. And your besides, if you succeed, it's the greatest gift of all. Knowledge, freedom. You will no longer have us surveilling you 24/7. But should you fail to identify the other persons and their demons, you will be erased from existence. Good luck! Well, thank you. I like the luck. How you got the demon that allows you to teleport? It's kind of cool. Just like I warned you, Lander. It's never really over. Later. Point. Well, we can read this at least, now that we're here. We got the quill. So this is our demon, is it? What do you do, Quill? Oh, you're an owl. That's cool, Nicole. Greetings. I'm Biblius, demon of records. The quill inscribing the page of history, the steward of the knowledge of eons. Chapter 4. I seem to have fainted to be partners in this battle of wits. I'm an open book, ask me anything. Did you choose me as your partner? I'm afraid assigning the terms is the adjudicator's responsibility. We demons have no part in it. I must confess, Lambda, I've read all of your case files. You seem a sufficiently erudite individual. Let's make a deal. Sure, let's do it. Victory in the Masquerade is the only way for a demon to increase its power, which is the fundamental drive of all demons. If we win, you have unrestricted access to that power. I know you've spent years searching for the organization that held you captive as a child. With my power and your intellect, I'm certain we can unmask whoever is behind the Athena Institute. Yeah, we've forgotten that name, haven't we? Does that sound equitable to you? Sure, it does. I'm glad to hear it. What my power is? Let's discuss it tomorrow. It's been a long and exploratory night for all of us. It certainly has, hasn't it? Well, let's read the Athena Institute. Yet if you think that this will convince Lamb to work for us, I'm all for it. Just make sure that nothing gets leaked to the press. Okay, so there she is. This nothing is known about the founding of the Athena Institute or the process which their leader is appointed. Even from when the FBI started looking into the institute in 1922, we observed blank run under the autocratic control of a single chief, seemingly overnight. So is she not aged since 1922? And curiously, all known leaders of the Athena Institute have blank. At least one of the leaders of the Athena Institute has. Oh my god, okay, they've not... This is the FBI for you right now. They've not redacted it properly. You can still read it. It says right here, at least one of the Athena Institute has held a high-ranking position within the US military, although as their service records have been suppressed, little is known about their existence before taking on the role. Stranger still are the several civilian leaders, all of them the Bureau has been totally unable to identify with both their names and photographs, registering zero matches when chasing its database of US citizens. While the Institute has close ties with the CIA and the armed forces, it appears to exist outside of both the US intelligence community and the military chain of command. So right, they're just rejecting everything about the FBI, right? What does this one read? Now that one I can't read. That one's well redacted. Okay, but what does this one say? Can't read this word either. For a term of 25 years, only for that chief to be suddenly replaced seemingly overnight. Okay. In 1922, we have observed some consecutive leaders, 5, of the organization. It appears that the Institute... Yeah. Okay, perfect. It is unclear to the Bureau entirely what purpose the device referred to as Alpha serves, nor it is known when the device was first created. This is Alpha here. So this must be to get the demons. The Descriptions of a contraption resembling Alpha date all the way back to the establishment of the blank, which is HS government, US government, probably. And even those accounts suggest that it has already existed before living memory. Photos taken of the device by workers during one of its yearly maintenance sessions showing an angular metal form approximately 6 feet high, atop a concrete platform that resembles a sacrificial altar designed by a brutalist architect. Air ducts and sewage pipes snake across the entire room. The only organic parts of the structure are a pair of leathery hands that jut out from the front of the machine. Near the top of the device is a rectangular aperture that looks like a cross between a porthole and an extra-sketch. Its dull grey surface endlessly swirling with shadowy blotches. The maintenance workers claim that they could occasionally hear the sound of blank coming from the machine, which is gentle humming? Yeah, something like that. Though they stated it must have just been sounds echoing from the large orphanage facility nearby, so it must be crying, right? So they managed to take a photo of all the things as well, the demons. Among all the police ratings of Latin America, there exists an unriddled rule to never investigate any murder in which the victim is missing the pinky toe on their left foot. Upon discovering such a body, rookie detectives typically believe they're on the trail of a serial killer, so they are informed by a handful superior that similar killers extend all the way back to the founding of the precinct. One element that seems to link all of the victims is that they are high-status individuals. Among the skills of dead are influential politicians and wealthy industrialists. This has led to some to speculate that these killings were carried out by a US intelligence agency, a theory corroborated by a leaked CIA document entitled the Beta Memo, which includes a list of several targets along with their addresses and a description of their daily schedules. It is known as Beta as the designation of covert special forces unit similar to Delta Force, but it is a code name given to a singular agent. The only existing photo of an individual identified with the Beta designation was taken by an award-winning photojournalist who was investigating the Nicaraguan Contras. The journalist was discovered dead shortly after the photos were published. Okay. And he's got a demon as well, like a vampire bat. And this one that is well redacted as well. They managed to cross it off quite thoroughly. In the operation of Operation Blank, several former prisoners of war attested that they experienced an unusual form of torture at the hands of a US-backed private military company. If it refers to divulge anything to their captors, the enemy combatants were brought to a room that resembled a dentist practice, were strapped into a reclining chair in the center of their room. Once they were securely tied down, a young child was brought in. Witnesses estimate the child to be between 8 and 12 years old, but they could not agree on the child's gender, so this must be the child here. All accounts do agree on what happened next. The child would be savagely beaten by the guards right in front of the prisoner. Curiously, rather than simply experiencing the physical distress of watching a child be abused in this way, the prisoners felt as though they themselves had been beaten. Throughout the entire thrashing, the child continued to smile brightly, giggling every time a brow sent them reeling across the room. The psychological assessment of soldiers formerly assigned to this peculiar interrogation division all this signs of intense post-traumatic stress disorder. I would not blame them. And they would often break down in sobs and beg for forgiveness from an individual that they called Gamma. Okay, so Gamma must be the child. How long is this one? Alright, well, let's finish reading those ones off there. I like this guy the best. This guy's the coolest. But we will read various other stuff later, including Iota, because I do care about Iota. But I will read the rest later, because it's a lot of text to go through, and I don't want to jam you guys up on text. Let's have a look at the date, shall we? So the Masquerade ends tonight. Today is Friday the 5th of September 1997. Can we talk to you a little bit more? I don't want to discuss things in the morning. I want to do it now. Well, let's get to sleep. Honk you. Get to sleep. Good morning, Lambda. I'm impressed that you managed to sleep for 16 hours straight. As promised, I think it's time for an explanation of my abilities. That's a long time to sleep. As Daemon of Records, I have dominion over all documents ever created by mankind. That means I'm able to reconstruct writing and images from the residual evidence released during their creation. Perhaps it's easier to show you. Can you? To demonstrate my power, you'll need to draw a picture on this sticky note. Don't show it to me though, that will ruin the surprise. Alrighty. Well, Beto, can we draw? I'm gonna draw a goat, I reckon. It's a bit hard with just a mouse. I haven't plugged my drawing tablet in. But let's try my best, shall we? It's a horn. This is an ear. This is a farce. This is another ear. This is another horn. Pretty good, honestly, for just using my mouse. There we go. Now let's draw some eyes. Zoink, 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 zoink. Well, that was a terrible eye, but you know. Draw a nose. And draw a mouth. Alright. I'm relatively happy with this. Don't about my powering, you need to form a mental image of the target. You don't actually have to know what they look like. Imagining a face is enough to specify the target. For this test, just picture your own face like you're looking into a mirror. Then shout, Biblios replicate. Biblios replicate! Alrighty, did you manage to replicate my picture, Biblios? Which I drew. Yep, ta-da, perfect replica. Cool. So basically you're like a photocopier. You 20th century people are so hard to impress. The next part is where it starts to get interesting. Yeah, I mean you are a photographer. Try adding something to your jewelry. Alright, let's add a little tie, I guess. And then like a little suit, I guess, as well. There we go. Perfect. Let's give him like a little. Yeah, perfect. And let's add a little bit of thing. There we go. Perfect. Even better. Look what we have here. Oh, the replica has also changed. This is the principle of modification. Changes made to the original are reflected in the copy. For the next step of transcription, you need to look closely at the copy. Concentrate hard on the document and imagine it without your additions. Alright, well let's... Ooh. There we go. That's it, you mastered the final principle reversion. Through the reversion, you'll be able to examine the replica even if the original is destroyed. However, during the Masquerade, 3 restrictions have been placed on my power. I can only replicate documents created or modified during the Masquerade. I can target each masker only once per day. I can only revert a document back to the first version that was replicated. Well, Lambda thinks that that's pretty much everything. I know it's a lot to take in. Mine is one of the most complicated demonic powers. If you ever need a refresher, I've written everything down in Appendix A of the Encyclopedia Demonica. Plus the rules of the Masquerade can be found in Appendix B. Well, wait, I haven't even given you the encyclopedia yet. The Encyclopedia Demonica is a comprehensive tome of the demonic lore compiled by yours truly. Referring to it will be essential when identifying which demons the other maskers are bound to. Right, I'll leave it on your bookshelf for you to pursue at your leisure. Feel free to annotate it as you see fit. Please don't doodle on the illustrations. I put a lot of work into those. That's enough preface. It's time to get started. Picture the other maskers in your head. You remember the magic words? Biblios replicate. Alrighty, so now he's going to summon photos of the... Yeah, perfect. There we go. Alrighty, we get some information about the good thing we prepared those extra printables earlier. We're not solving anything today, but we'll get a whole week to unmask our opponents. Come to talk to me if you draw any conclusions. Well, we will. We will eventually, my friend. But eventually doesn't mean today. I'm going to end the episode there, but thank you so much. I'm really excited to get into like the meat and potatoes of this game, to be honest. So I'll probably record another episode directly after this one. But thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, or subscribe. And in the meantime, I'll see you in the next one. See ya!